Power. Power is a tool used each and every day by people, politicians, and everyone in between. It can be used to manipulate, deceive, and control people, but it can also empower, inspire, and motivate. These two short clips show just how much taking and giving power can affect a person. In this particular case, it was the power of sight. Although this is an extreme case, think back to Activity 2, in which we discussed making people feel powerless.
I left my house September 28th, 2011. And the boys were in the front yard tossing a ball around. Nothing was different. And that's all I remember. When I woke up, I had a tube down my throat. I couldn't see. I was assaulted. I was beat to death. The doctor said that whoever assaulted me squashed my optic nerve. And I thought to myself, whatever. You'll just open me up, reattach the wires, and the lights come back on again. And he put his hand on my shoulder and said, "I'm sorry, Andy, you're gonna be blind forever."
After this devastating event, he lost all of his power. But watch now as scientists give it back and his emotional reaction.
The BrainPort V100 is a sensory substitution device for people who are totally blind. So instead of using the eyes to see, they're using their tongue as a platform to take in information.
I was trembling with anticipation. When I put the BrainPort on for the first time, and I had to process, why is my tongue buzzing? And Misa, the woman who I work with, said, "Andy, let it feed into your head. What are you looking at? Remember, you don't have eyes anymore." And I felt this buzzing on my tongue, and I felt the impression. And then I saw my hand. For the first time in 5 years, I saw my hand. Something that small is huge.
In this next clip, Eric Liu describes just how important an understanding of power is in civil life. This is a concept that was evident in 1984 with regards to Wilson and his views on the population of Oceania.
As a result of this illiteracy, those few who do understand how power operates in civic life, those who understand how a bill becomes a law, yes, but also how a friendship becomes a subsidy, or how a bias becomes a policy, or how a slogan becomes a movement. The people who understand those things wield disproportionate influence, and they're perfectly happy to fill the vacuum created by the ignorance of the great majority.
My final piece of media is an academic journal by Andrew Pulsifier on capital punishment. The article describes the internal debate within Canada to reinstate the death penalty. Just having these talks in the House of Commons is detrimental to the complex human rights power dynamic between Canada and the rest of the world. Canada is seen as having an important voice against capital punishment as the ultimate violation of basic human rights. If Canada was to bring back the death penalty, it would create an image that Canada sees itself as almighty. Canada can decide what crimes deserve death, yet in complete hypocrisy, we cry out about the killing of our own soldiers. In conclusion, it is vital to maintain the already unstable power dynamic between the West and Eastern world. This complex study of power is much like 1984, Just Lather, That's All, and Hamlet, where one decision can completely alter the power dynamic and have a huge butterfly effect on the rest of the world.